Hey, Frank.
Hi.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good. Long day. I had class from like 10 until 6 tonight, so yeah, a lot of stuff happening, but other than that, pretty good. Don't have too much homework, only one class, so, or I guess 2 classes, but Spanish doesn't count. That's the easy one. Oh, I just realized I have a big old, what is that on my shirt?
The pain?
Yeah,
Wait,
at my apartment, I don't know. So the laundry machines here at the apartment are really bad, and so I wonder if like the soap got on my clothes because it didn't like wash off all the way or something.
sometimes they happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on my computer glasses so I can see better. Okay. Let's see. Did you get a chance to do the one I emailed you? I think it was about Georgia,
Yeah.
right? Questions 1 through 10. Okay, cool. I'll pull up the answer key real quick and then we'll just go over it like normal. Well, the key is here somewhere. Oh, this one's kind of formatted differently.
Yeah, it looks.
Okay, so questions 1 through 10 right here. Yeah. Here, you want me to zoom in? Is this hard to see?
No, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's like 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Hey, that's good. Last time you missed 4, so that's an improvement. Okay, so B, A. Not bad at all. Okay, so I guess we'll get started. Oh, that's my textbook, not the actual thing. I have like a billion tabs. Well, I don't have a billion tabs open, but I have more than I usually do. Okay. So question 4. Oh, so this one, so you got 3 right, but you got 4 wrong. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, which one did you get for 3?
Oh, I got C.
Okay.
I did C.
For number 3?
Yeah. But actually, these.
Yeah. 3 is D.
Oh, I wrong 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah. Because like it says like 4, 5, 6. Because I missed like 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, you missed 3, 4, and 5?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Here, I'll go back to the answer key. Let's just look over it real quick.
4, 5, and 6.
So 3, 4, and 5 were the ones that you missed. Okay, that makes more sense because then you missed, because 3 and 4 are kind of a 2-part question. Okay.
Yeah, related.
Here, I'll just read through the answers. So 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is D, 4 is B, 5 is A, 6 is A, 7 is D, 8 is C, 9 is C, and then 10 is B like boy. Okay, so you did miss just 3, 4, 5, right?
3, 4, 5.
Okay. So question 3. So can be reasonably It can reasonably be inferred from the passage that some of the people at the train station regard Miss Spivey's comment about the Georgia heat with. Okay, so let's go back to where Miss Spivey mentioned Georgia heat. Okay, here it is. So August was a hellish month to step off a train in Georgia, although it was nothing, she said, compared to the 119 degrees that greeted her when she arrived one time in Timbuktu, which she assured us was a real place in Africa. I believe her remark irritated some of the people gathered to welcome her on the burned grass alongside the track. When folks are sweating through their shorts, they don't like to hear this is nothing compared to someplace else. Okay, so this is a section where it mentions it. So I guess without reading the answer choices, how do the people feel about her complaining about the heat, saying that it's like nothing like Timbuktu? Any guesses?
Oh, and it gets to what?
So how do the people feel about Miss
Oh,
Spivey's
like
comment about
they
the
don't
heat?
want to get compared from the like other the places because they know like they're like the place where they live kind of poor.
Okay, you're on the right track. So what it is basically like, let's say you tell your friend that you're having a really bad day, and your friend says, "Well, you know what? My day was even worse." It's called like one-upping, you know?
Yeah,
And
they
so
don't
that's
like
what
that.
yeah, so that's what's frustrating the people is that she is talking about this time when she had it even worse than they do. So let's see if there's an answer choice if that matches that. Okay. So A, sympathy, because they assume she's experiencing intense heat for the first time. B, disappointment, because they doubt that she will stay in three-step for very long. C, embarrassment, because they imagine that she is superior to him. Or D, resentment, because they feel that she is minimizing their discomfort. Okay, so I guess before we do the answer choices, were there any words here that you didn't know or were tricky?
Kind of sympathy, disappointment, embarrassment, resentment. I mean, is resentment like no fit to like resentment is like kind of blame something, isn't it? Like blame it something.
Not quite. So resentment is when it's almost like hatred. Like they hate that she made that comment.
Oh, so she made us like get in trouble for like a resentment or like
Yeah, like resentment is somewhere between like annoyance and hatred. You know, it's like you're annoyed,
uh
but also you dislike the person at the same time. If that makes sense. Okay. And
uh
then the other one that can be tricky sometimes is and I'll talk about this too cuz sometimes it pops up is sympathy. And then it also sounds very similar to the English word empathy, but these are different.
uh
So so sympathy is when you feel bad for someone even though you haven't felt it yourself. Writing it out all the way so I can send it to you later. And then empathy is when you have felt it. So I feel sympathy with I'm trying to think who I would feel sympathy with. Okay, so I feel sympathy for someone who's gotten really sick. I haven't gotten sick, but I still feel bad for them.
like
Empathy,
understanding.
yeah, empathy is okay. I feel bad for someone who's gotten a bad grade on a test because I've gotten a bad grade before too. And so that's kind of the difference. It's whether or not you have that experience. The difference between these two words will sometimes pop up on the SAT. So that's a good one to Just remember if you haven't seen it before. Okay, sorry to get off track. Let's go back to the questions. So sympathy. So do they feel bad for Miss Spivey because they think that this is her first time in the heat?
It mentioned about the hit, but they feel they feel bad. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they don't like her, right? They don't really care what she feels. Also, it's not her first time experiencing heat because she says she went to Africa
Yeah,
where
like
she experienced
around
it
the world.
before. Okay, B, disappointment because they doubt that she will stay in 3-step for very long. Okay.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. Do you think that they would be maybe happy if she left even?
I guess.
Yeah, they don't like her very much, right? And so
Yeah.
leaving wouldn't disappoint them. Okay. What about embarrassment because they imagine that she is superior to them?
From now on, yeah, no, because they don't like her, so it's not.
Yeah. They think that she sees herself as superior even though she's not.
Mm,
Okay, and so D is kind of the last one left, and that makes sense, right? Because they're irritated with this woman for
Yep.
saying that, oh, what you felt is nothing compared to what I felt. And then I believe we already read these lines, but it's lines 10 through 14 when it says, I believe that they were frustrated that she was talking about something else when they were in the Georgia heat.
Mm,
Yeah. We can go back up and read that one again if you want, but I think we already highlighted it. Let me take a picture of this real quick. Okay. Yeah, so just to go back, reread. So I think if you got the question right, you would have gotten this one right too. So 10 through 14, I believe her remark irritated some people gathered to welcome her on the burned grass alongside the tracks. When folks are sweating through their shorts, they don't like to hear that this is nothing compared to someplace else. That's the answer because it says the word irritated. Okay, and then finally, I think is question 5.
yes.
What did you get for 5?
B.
Okay, B. Okay, let's go back up and we'll reread this one.
But I was like pretty sure like C and D was not the answer, so I was like just between like A and B, but like we got B.
That's good. That means you were pretty close then.
At least.
Okay, let's scroll up. So line 26. Here, let's start at the beginning of the sentence. So she'd gone to boarding school since she was 6 years old. She'd studied French in Paris and drama in London, and during what she called a fruitful intermission in her formal education, she had traveled extensively in the Near East and Africa with a friend of her grandmother's, one Janet Miller, who was a medical doctor from Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. So what does it mean if something is fruitful?
Purple. Purple. Something like enough with a.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty close being enough. So this actually comes from an idiom in English called fruits of labor. Have you heard this phrase at all before?
Fruits of labor.
Uh-huh.
Not that one. But I haven't heard about the eating before, but not the fruit of labor. Not that one.
Yeah, so a fruit of labor is like a reward for some type of like work or experience.
Work
So,
of the.
so let's say I'm studying for a test. Maybe the fruits of my labor are that I get a good grade, and so I don't have to take the final at the end of the semester. So fruits are like some type of reward or benefit that comes from doing something.
So it's like
And so,
yes.
Yeah. And so fruitful means leading to reward or benefit. Oh, my face is in the way. Hate when that happens. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you eliminated D.
C and D.
Okay. Yeah, those have nothing to do with like rewards.
Yeah.
So we're between B and A.
And now it makes more sense, like the purple, because like the first one was like talking about like the benefits from the travel, like journey, and exactly like same, the purple, like reading to a river from river
Yeah.
with benefit.
Yeah. A is right, like you said, because
Yeah.
it has the word benefit. But also, let's see where it mentions medical school, just to go over that from another option. So she travels with a medical doctor, and then she goes to Barnard College. Okay. But she works as a school teacher, not as a doctor. And so when she went to Barnard, she went actually to study education. And it describes how she's inspired by this book, Democracy in Education, Teachers College, blah, blah, blah. So right after she comes back from her travel, she goes to school to study teaching. And so that's another hint that her travels weren't immediately followed by medical school. So that's another way you could think about it. Does that help?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, whatever's easier for you. If you remember, hey, fruitful means benefits, or if you read and you realize, okay, she went to be a teacher, not a doctor, that can help too.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if you're going to miss any questions, these are pretty good questions to miss because most of these are just reading. So I think it's not like a vocab or, missing out on what like a metaphor or something means. So I think if you just had more time to read, maybe you would have gotten these right. When you do the things I sent you, do you ever like print them out and like write and underline things, or do you mostly just look at them on the computer? Oh, Frank, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you do the passages that I send you, do you print them out or do you look at them on the computer?
Yeah. I'll just look at it on the from through my email, my laptop.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think probably when you take the real exam and you have a paper in front of you to like write stuff down
Yes.
on, I think it'll be easier not to miss some of those reading questions. Okay. I don't think we have a time to do a whole passage, so we'll do some grammar together if that's all
Sounds
right.
good.
Oh, sweet. I found it. Okay, let me know if what we're reading you've seen before and we'll read something else. So, how a cat in a hat changed children's education.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we've done it together.
Yeah, I haven't done this before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I didn't do it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I gave you remote control, so you can zoom in, scroll, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. Just no change.
Yep, exactly right. Because this goes back to parallel structure. We're listing
Yes.
television, radio,
And the other
other
media.
media. Yeah, we just want the noun, nothing else. Oh, sorry. I'm going to grab the mouse real quick just
Yes.
because my Zoom window is in the middle of the test. Okay, I'm good. The mouse is all yours now.
B. it B?
Okay. Okay. Let's think about this one real quick. So let's just go back to the first sentence. Okay, so children are disengaged from learning how to read. So reading was not interesting to them. And so reading could not compete with all the other things happening. So his solution was to make books more interesting. So why do we want books to be more interesting?
So they can compare it.
Okay.
D.
You know, yeah, I think D is a better choice here because this has to do with the books being interesting. And
Yeah.
then also, if we read down to the third paragraph, it goes immediately to talking about the illustrator. And so this one, it might have been easier to answer if you had finished reading the third paragraph, or I guess maybe that's the second paragraph before you answer the question. Yeah, okay, I'll give you the mouse back.
No change.
Yep, very good.
A.
Yeah, very good. We don't want C because it has the
Yeah, they have
semicolon.
spelling.
Yeah,
The
D
front.
has too many words, and then B, namely, gives like a specific example. So he's not giving an example of a need, he is just naming an author. So namely is not the right word there. Oh, sorry, I'm touching the mouse. You can scroll down whenever. I'll get my hands off.
D.
Okay. Yep, very good. Because that gives an example of how
Yeah.
he's experienced. Okay, let's look at 6.
Yep. Oh, A. However.
Yeah, keep it. Because even though he's experienced, it's still
Yep.
an obstacle. Okay, and then 7.
B.
Sorry, did you say B like boy?
Yes.
Okay, this one is actually C
C.
like cat. Yeah. And the reason why is it says on the verge of giving up. Who is on the verge of giving up?
Gazel?
Yeah.
Wait, how do I pronounce?
Yeah,
Gazel?
not the story, right?
Uh,
Gazel himself. And so we want the noun right here to be Gazel to match on the verge of giving up. And
yeah,
so the noun isn't an image. It's not the story. It's Gazel
Gazel.
himself, the author. Yeah. Okay, here I'll clear the screen. And then I guess if you want to do 8 and then scroll down.
And 9 months later.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Short one, better one.
Yeah. D.
Uh-huh. D, delete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we want it to be were captivated, and it already says that word were by entertained. So we can just say were entertained and captivated. Okay, let's see, 10.
D.
Okay, look, do we want a semicolon or do we want a comma?
Semicolon. Oh, wait.
Remember, a semicolon combines 2 complete sentences.
Oh, no. It's called.
Yeah, it's a comma. Yeah, just a quick recap on this. Here, I'll pull up a tab in a different screen. So, when to use semicolon or comma. Oh, Grammarly is pretty good. Okay, so we use a semicolon when we combine sentences like this. So we can go to the museums to do some research. Okay, that's a complete sentence. Then the second one, Mondays are pretty quiet there. We can't just switch commas or periods out with semicolons. So semicolons are somewhere between a comma and a period. So we only want to use semicolons to combine related sentences. We don't want to stick 2 random sentences together, basically, is what that's saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when we use a comma, we have a word like and called a conjunction. These are our fanboys, right? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And then semicolon has no fanboys. We'd take it out. Okay.
Yes.
And then the other thing that I wanted to show you is actually on a different page. So there are a few different times when we use a comma, but the one that they are using in this passage right here, this is a prepositional phrase. So I think we might have talked about this briefly. Do you remember what a prepositional phrase is?
Oh, the prepositional. The phrase by itself.
Yeah. So it's by itself. It's basically extra details that we can get rid of, and it's not going to change the sentence. And a lot of times prepositions have to do with time or place. So near my computer, that's a prepositional phrase. So near my computer, I have a pen. I could just say, I have a pen, right? And so whenever we start a sentence with a prepositional phrase, we're always going to need a comma after it. And so that's why we want to do a comma. Of course, there's other reasons why we use commas too. Those compound sentences with words like and, like we talked about, if we're listing things, use them in numbers, But that's what this one is. It's a prepositional phrase. Okay, let's do the last one. So question 11.
I think it's between C and D, isn't it?
Yep. It's very true. If you want, I think you still have remote control. You can scroll up to probably the first paragraph will help you, because a lot of times the conclusion is connected to the first paragraph, right?
Yes. Then I think it's C. Because he's talking about the children.
Yeah, the children's delight, right? And how they need to be like interested and entertained. Yep. So just remember that if you ever see a question that asks about a conclusion, usually if you go up and read the introduction, it will give you a pretty good idea of what to pick.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think that's about it for today. I have math with Peter after this, but do you have any questions for me before I go?
I don't think so. Not yet.
Okay, gotcha. Well,
Not today. Not today.
I'll see you on Friday then, 8 p.m.
Yeah, I'll see you on Friday. Is it 8 p.m.?
Okay. Yeah, I have class until late at night now.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to tell you one other thing. I just remembered. Don't forget to do your Khan Academy if you have some time.
Oh yeah, I was like working on it like earlier.
Okay, good.
Well, like I did like three passage, and I need to keep working on it.
Hey, that's okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't get the skill levels up to like, what is it, like it goes from 1 to 4 bars.
Yeah.
If you can't get them up to like 4 bars in every category, that's all right. It's understandable. But see if you can get them to 3. Okay. Well, I'll let you go. I'm grabbing my mouse. Okay. I'll let you go, but have a good rest of your night and see you Friday.
I'll see you on Friday.
Okay. Bye, Frank.
Bye.